It was a crisp evening in the heart of the city, and the dining room of Le Jardin, an upscale French restaurant, gleamed under the soft glow of chandeliers. Victoria Kensington, a well-known socialite with a reputation for her sharp tongue and entitled demeanor, was seated at a prime corner table. Dressed in designer couture and adorned with diamonds, she oozed an air of superiority. As the waiter approached her table, Victoria's gaze swept over him, a flicker of disdain in her eyes. He was a tall black man, dressed impeccably in the restaurant's uniform, carrying himself with quiet confidence. "Good evening, ma'am," he said warmly. "My name is David, and I'll be your server tonight." Victoria barely acknowledged him, focusing instead on her companion, a fellow socialite named Meredith. When David asked for her order, she waved him off dismissively. "I'll let you know when I'm ready," she said curtly. Minutes later, David returned, maintaining his professionalism. "Have you decided on your order, ma'am?" he asked. Victoria sighed dramatically. "Do you even know how to recommend a wine?" she sneered. Without waiting for an answer, she continued. "Bring me the Montrachet, and don't keep me waiting." David nodded politely and stepped away. As he left, Meredith whispered, "Victoria, you're being a bit harsh. He's just doing his job." Victoria scoffed. "People like him should be grateful to even step foot in a place like this. If I don't put them in their place, who will?" Throughout the meal, Victoria's behavior only worsened. She sent back the soup for being too cold, complained about the steak being overcooked, and criticized David's lack of attentiveness, even though he was nothing but courteous. At one point, she even muttered under her breath, "Standards are really slipping these days."
David's calm demeanor never faltered, though there was a glimmer of sadness in his eyes. He handled each of Victoria's complaints with grace, ensuring her meal was corrected promptly. As the evening wound down, Victoria and Meredith prepared to leave. Before she exited, Victoria handed David a measly tip, clearly intended as an insult. "Do better next time," she said with a smirk before walking out. The following week, Victoria was preparing for an important job interview. Her lavish lifestyle had recently caught up with her, and her family's wealth could no longer sustain her extravagant spending. She was desperate to secure a senior marketing position at a leading tech firm, Innovatech, known for its progressive values and diversity initiatives. Victoria strutted into the sleek corporate office, her designer heels clicking against the marble floor. She'd spent hours perfecting her outfit and rehearsing answers to common interview questions. The receptionist guided her to the boardroom, where the CEO would be conducting her interview personally. Victoria's heart raced with anticipation. Landing this job would mean salvaging her reputation and financial stability. When the door to the boardroom opened, Victoria's confident smile froze on her face. Standing before her was David, the waiter she had humiliated just days earlier. Except now, he wasn't in a server's uniform. He was dressed in an elegant suit, exuding authority and charisma. "Good afternoon, Ms. Kensington," David said, his tone polite but with a hint of amusement. "I'm David Carter, CEO of Innovatech. Please, have a seat." Victoria's mind reeled as she tried to process the situation. Her face flushed with embarrassment. I... She stammered, unsure of what to say. David gestured toward the chair across from him, his expression unreadable. "Shall we begin?" he asked. For the next 30 minutes, Victoria stumbled through the interview. Her confidence was shattered, and she struggled to articulate her answers. David remained professional, but his calm demeanor only heightened her discomfort. As the interview concluded, David stood and extended his hand. "Thank you for coming in, Ms. Kensington. We'll be in touch." Victoria shook his hand, mumbling a quick, "Thank you," before hurrying out of the office. Her heart sank. She knew she had blown the opportunity. Later that evening, David sat in his office, reflecting on the encounter. While he had no intention of hiring Victoria, he hoped the experience would serve as a lesson. Prejudice and entitlement had no place in his company or his life. Victoria, meanwhile, spent the evening grappling with the consequences of her actions. For the first time in years, she began to question her behavior and the harm it caused. Perhaps, she thought, it was time to change. David's grace in the face of her cruelty had humbled her in a way she never thought possible. And though she didn't get the job, the experience left an indelible mark on her, forcing her to confront the person she'd become. The moral lesson of the story: treat everyone with respect and kindness, regardless of their position or background. Arrogance and prejudice not only harm others, but can also close doors to opportunities. True character is revealed in how we treat those who can do nothing for us. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications so you never miss more inspiring stories like this one. Thanks for watching.